As the BTS members arrived in Tampa, thousands of fans had already gathered, forming what looked like a human ocean of purple. The second the first glimpse of Jungkook was spotted, the crowd erupted. It wasn't just loud, it was overwhelming. Videos captured the exact moment, Jungkook stepping forward, calm yet visibly touched, while Jin followed closely behind, smiling and waving in a way that instantly sent ARMY into an emotional spiral. Jin, often known for his composed and elegant presence, appeared unusually expressive in that moment. He paused, just for a second, looking out at the massive crowd, almost as if he was taking it all in. That single pause? It triggered another wave of screams so intense that even security personnel seemed momentarily stunned. And then there was Jungkook. Jungkook didn't just walk through, he connected. Eye contact, small gestures, subtle waves, every move he made felt intentional, as if he knew exactly how much this moment meant. Fans later described it as electric, saying that even from a distance, his presence felt larger than life. What makes this arrival even more significant is the timing. Recently, both Jungkook and Jin have been at the center of global conversations, not just about music, but about their influence, their bond, and their evolving roles within BTS. Their appearance together in Tampa wasn't just a routine arrival, it felt like a statement. Media outlets in the US are already calling it one of the most intense fan receptions of the year. Clips are going viral within minutes, hashtags are climbing rapidly, and once again, BTS proves that no matter where they go, they don't just arrive, they transform the space around them. But beyond the noise, beyond the viral videos, there was something deeper in the air. Fans weren't just cheering, they were emotional. Some were seen crying, others holding banners, many simply standing still, overwhelmed by the reality of seeing Jungkook and Jin in person. It's that kind of connection that sets BTS apart. This isn't just fandom, it's something much more powerful. And then came the moment that truly shifted everything. As the members continued moving forward, Jin suddenly turned back, just briefly, and gave one final wave. It was subtle, almost easy to miss. But for those who caught it, it felt personal. Social media is already flooded with clips of that exact second, with captions like, "He saw us," and "Jin knows." Jungkook, not long after, mirrored that energy. A slight nod, a soft smile. It wasn't dramatic, but it didn't need to be. Sometimes, the quietest gestures create the loudest impact. This arrival wasn't just about presence. It was about timing, emotion, and connection. It was about Jungkook and Jin reminding everyone, without saying a single word, why BTS continues to dominate not just charts, but hearts. And now, the big question remains. What happens next? With Tampa already shaken by this arrival, expectations for what's coming are now higher than ever. Will Jungkook deliver another unforgettable performance? Is Jin preparing something unexpected? Could there be a surprise moment that no one sees coming? If the last 14 minutes are anything to go by, we are not ready. So tell me, what did you feel watching this moment? Did Jungkook or Jin stand out to you the most? And what do you think BTS has planned next in Tampa? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and stay tuned, because if this is just the beginning, then the real story hasn't even started yet. Within minutes, the entire Tampa area began to feel the ripple effect. Streets surrounding the venue tightened with anticipation. Local news crews rushed to reposition their cameras, and fans who weren't even at the scene started flooding social media with real-time reactions. The keywords Jungkook Tampa, Jin arrival, and BTS in the US shot straight to trending, not just in the United States, but globally. It wasn't just a moment, it was a takeover. And as more footage surfaced, a clearer picture began to form. Jungkook, walking slightly ahead at one point, turned briefly toward Jin as if exchanging a quick comment, something subtle, almost impossible to hear, but enough to spark massive speculation online. Fans immediately began analyzing the interaction. Was it a joke? A reassurance? Or something deeper between Jungkook and Jin that only they understood in that high-pressure moment? Jin responded with a soft laugh, yes, a laugh, and that single reaction changed the entire tone. The tension, the overwhelming chaos, suddenly felt lighter. It was as if Jungkook and Jin were grounding each other amidst the storm of attention. That chemistry, that unspoken understanding, became one of the most talked about highlights within minutes. Meanwhile, the other BTS members maintained a strong, composed presence, but it was undeniable. Jungkook and Jin were pulling the emotional gravity of the moment. Cameras followed them relentlessly. Every angle, every expression, every step, captured, replayed, dissected. What makes this even more intense is how unpredictable everything felt. There was no over-the-top staging, no dramatic entrance setup, just raw, real-time energy. And yet, that authenticity is exactly what made it explosive. Fans in Tampa later described it as unfiltered BTS, a rare glimpse into how Jungkook and Jin navigate these overwhelming moments in real life. But then something unexpected happened. As the members approached their vehicles, the crowd's volume reached an entirely new level, almost uncontrollable. Security tightened instantly, creating a faster path forward. For a split second, it looked like the interaction might end abruptly. And that's when Jungkook did something that no one predicted. He slowed down. Not dramatically, not enough to cause disruption, but just enough. Enough to turn once more, lift his hand, and acknowledge the crowd again. It was brief, almost instinctive. But that single decision sent a clear message. He saw them, he heard them, and he appreciated them. Jin followed closely, and while he didn't stop, he maintained eye contact with the fans longer than expected. That quiet intensity, so uniquely Jin, left a lasting impression. It wasn't loud. It wasn't exaggerated. But it was deeply felt. Fans began crying again. Not because of chaos this time, but because of connection. And just like that, within seconds, the members entered their vehicles and disappeared from direct view. But the energy didn't disappear. If anything, it grew stronger. Outside, fans remained, replaying the moment over and over again on their phones. Inside the vehicles, speculation began. What were Jungkook and Jin thinking? Were they aware of how massive that moment just became? Did they expect Tampa to respond like this? Back online, reactions were pouring in from celebrities, influencers, and media outlets. One U.S. entertainment commentator described it as a cultural shockwave, while another simply wrote, "This is not normal. This is BTS." And maybe that's the key point here. This wasn't just about an arrival. It was about presence, influence, and timing. Jungkook and Jin didn't need a stage, didn't need music, didn't need choreography. Just showing up was enough to create a global moment. But what's even more intriguing is what this could mean moving forward. Sources close to the event suggest that preparations in Tampa are far from ordinary. There are whispers, unconfirmed but persistent, about special segments, unexpected collaborations, and emotional stages that could involve both Jungkook and Jin in ways fans haven't seen before. Could this arrival be setting the tone for something bigger? Could Jungkook be preparing a standout moment that redefines the entire event? Could Jin, known for his emotional depth, deliver a performance that shifts the atmosphere completely? And more importantly, could there be a moment between Jungkook and Jin that becomes the highlight of the entire night? Because if the past hour has proven anything, it's this. When Jungkook and Jin share a space, something happens. Something unplanned, something real, something that can't be scripted. Tampa is no longer just a location. It's now a stage waiting to explode. And fans know it. The question is no longer, what just happened? Now, it's what happens next. So stay right here, stay connected, and don't look away, because if this arrival was the spark, then what's coming next might just be the fire no one can contain. And when that moment comes, you'll want to say you saw it first. Not long after Jungkook, Jin, and the other BTS members left the arrival area, new footage began surfacing from inside the secured route. Short clips, some shaky, some crystal clear, captured glimpses of Jungkook leaning back in his seat, exhaling as if releasing the weight of that overwhelming. Beside him, Jin appeared calm, but observant, occasionally glancing out the window, still taking in the scale of what had just happened. That contrast, Jungkook's intensity and Jin's quiet composure, quickly became a talking point across fan communities. People weren't just reacting anymore, they were analyzing. Every second of that arrival was now being revisited, slowed down, zoomed in, and discussed as if it held hidden meaning. And then, something unexpected started trending. A short, almost unnoticed clip of Jungkook and Jin walking side by side, just before entering the vehicles, suddenly went viral. In that clip, Jungkook slightly adjusts his pace to match Jin's, and for a brief moment, the two walk in perfect sync. No words, no gestures, just alignment. It lasted less than 3 seconds. But for millions watching, it felt significant. Fans began calling it the sync moment, suggesting it symbolized the deep connection between Jungkook and Jin. Others saw it as a simple coincidence, but even they couldn't deny how powerful it looked in context. In a sea of noise, chaos, and flashing lights, that quiet synchronization stood out. Meanwhile, local reports in Tampa began highlighting the economic and cultural impact of BTS's presence. Hotels near the area were fully booked, nearby businesses saw sudden surges in activity, and traffic patterns shifted dramatically. One local anchor described it as a city transforming in real time. But beyond numbers and headlines, there was something more human happening. Fans who had been present started sharing personal stories. One fan described waiting for over 10 hours just to catch a glimpse of Jungkook and Jin. Another talked about traveling across states, saying, "I didn't care how long it took. I just needed to be here." These stories added another layer to the event. This wasn't just about celebrities arriving, it was about connection, dedication, and shared emotion on a massive scale. And as night began to fall over Tampa, the anticipation only intensified. Because behind closed doors, preparations were reportedly accelerating. While official details remain tightly controlled, insiders hint that what's coming next may involve more than just a standard performance. There are whispers about a segment that highlights the journey of BTS members individually, something that could put Jungkook and Jin in a more personal spotlight. If that's true, then this arrival wasn't just an entrance. It was a prelude. And here's where things take an even more intriguing turn. Some fans have started noticing subtle patterns in recent appearances by Jungkook and Jin, small gestures, shared timing, mirrored expressions. Individually, they might seem insignificant. But together, they paint a picture of two artists who are deeply in sync, both emotionally and professionally. Could that be intentional? Or is it simply the natural result of years of performing together, growing together, evolving together? No one can say for sure.